to you from the Capital Moloko Hotel Apartments out in Sandton, Johannesburg. This is the Art Bulletin. Welcome to it, and thank you for choosing to stay with Morning Live. Producers of the latest local big screen production titled Leading Lady are over the moon. This as the film earned 1.368 million at the South African box office this past weekend. This has pushed the film, produced by Hank Pretorius and Llewellyn Greef of Bakhat fame, to the third most popular film this season.
Oh, and because you're a vegetarian, I cooked you a chicken.
But chicken is also meat.
No, chicken is a vegetable in this part of the world, and we won't tell the Queen. Bon appétit.
According to Stir Keniko, Leading Lady's opening weekend was even bigger than the popular romantic comedy Semi Suit, making it one of the biggest South African romantic comedy openings yet. Leading Lady tells the story of an idealistic British drama school teacher who persuades an initial reserved South African farmer, Kobus Willemse, to prepare her for the role in a major film as an Afrikaans war heroine. In return, she undertakes to organize and direct the annual concert on the Willemse farm. It stars Jurassic World's Katie McGraw, Ellie McBee's Gil Bellows, and South African Alpha Boer Bok van Blark.
So you make movies like Spielberg?
Yeah, I make movies like Spielberg.
3 young and emerging local music composers have been invited to each conceptualize and create a composition in response to artist and photographer Lebogang Kganye's photo collection titled Ke Lefa Laka. The multidisciplinary collaboration between the music men and the lensmen is all part of the 2015 Johannesburg International Mozart Festival.
The result will be presented here at the Goethe Institute on the 31st of January as part of the Mozart International Music Festival. And it will consist of an afternoon where 3 new compositions with accompanying images by Lebogang Kganye, photographer, will be presented, and that will be followed by a panel discussion with the composers and the photographer talking about their experiences of creating these new multidisciplinary works, especially for the Mozart Festival. The composers were selected by the composer in residence for the Mozart Festival 2015, Peter Klatzo in Cape Town. And he worked in collaboration with Jeannie Zeidel-Rudolph, who is a music lecturer and composer from Johannesburg. Between the two of them, they selected the 3 composers who will be working with us.
Internationally recognized local photographers Zanele Moholi and Mikhail Sabotsky have been shortlisted for the 2015 Dutch Box Photography Prize. It was Moholi's 2006 publication titled Faces and Phases and Sabotsky and Patrick Waterhouse's publication Ponte City that earned them the recognition.
The Dutch Box Photography Prize is awarded to a photographer whose work has significantly contributed to photography in Europe in the past year. Both Moholi and Sabotsky have been nominated for books rather than shows. Officials say works by the shortlisted photographers will be exhibited at the Photographers Gallery from the 17th of April to the 7th of June 2015, and the winner will be announced on May 28th, 2015. It took Sabotsky and Waterhouse 6 years to create Ponte City, in which they photographed every resident, every door, the view from every window and every TV in the 54-story building, as well as sorting through the trash for evidence of the lives lived there. Moholi's photo book Faces and Phrases, on the other hand, consists of black and white portraits of South Africa's LGBT community and accompanied by serenely honest first-person accounts of discrimination and violence.
Its title was inspired by the slogan "On Stakni, on Spolahi," used by Sophiatown residents during the 1955 forced removals. That's the latest exhibition on at the Parking Gallery, which reflects on the act of appropriating or seizing goods from the owner's possession in the urban context.
It's a selection of some works of Ahmet. He's a Turkish artist, quite a well-known artist, and he has brought some works, just a small selection of the work he's done over many years, to South Africa. And this body of work just behind me is actually a new body of work that hasn't been shown, and in particular looks at protests and protests all over the world, so relating back to the "we won't leave, we won't move" sort of idea. It's quite playful, but always has quite a strong political statement behind it. So often you'll look at it and you'll laugh, and then you'll realize that it's actually saying something quite serious about society.
It brings together music, theatre, dance, poetry and comedy that reflect on the diversity of the arts in our country. That's the Mzansi Festival, which takes place every year since 2007 at the State Theatre in Pretoria. This year it kicked off on the 1st of this month and ends on the 15th.
Mostly we usually present like South African works, even looking at even like from music to drama to like theatre and dance. Mainly it's South African works. Theatre, we had Silent Voice, which played last week on the, I think it was the 5th, 6th and the 7th. That was like our main headliner for theatre. And then we also have Mezamira, that it's currently running, I think until the 11th of December. Ticket prices, Lyra is performing on the 12th. She's performing at 8 o'clock at the Opera. Tickets range from 150, 180, I think until 200. And then Brahu, also same price. People can get tickets at CompuTicket, or they can even visit the State Theatre website on www.statetheatre.co.za.
The Soweto Theatre in Jabulani is truly one of the busiest venues in Gauteng this festive season. Right now they are hosting Ekhaya Nabalingisi, We Are Here, until Monday. The production uses words, song and dance to give the audience an intimate look into the lives of young men whose voices are at the center of this play.
This particular production really was a kind of, it's a co-production. It's a collaboration between sort of We Are Here, what existed as a one-person show, and really having conversations with TX Theatre Productions and wanting to shape a new story that told their stories and what was happening in their communities and their lives, to really flesh out this idea of like, what does it mean to be a young man in South Africa, and what are the issues that affect them as well.
We're doing a show about men who went to exile, and then we met him and he told us about his idea that he was doing a one-man show titled We Are Here. Now it's a collaborative work, it's an ensemble, a beautiful one. Then we joined him, we started having workshops talking about abuse, talking about how can we bring change, talking about ourselves as young men in South Africa, wanting to be heard in a way. So that's how we came to be part of the production.
We have a Facebook page, we have a Twitter handle, We Are Here World, and we welcome any kind of support, any kind of engagement to sort of keep the conversation going, because we don't think that it's just about 16 days of activism, but how do we stay engaged 365 days of the year.
Winds of Samsara by flautist Wouter Kellerman and producer Ricky Cash has got a nomination in the Best New Age Album category at the 57th Annual Grammy Awards. Now, anyone who knows Wouter Kellerman knows that the man is never in the country. He's always out and about performing and touring abroad. But we here at the Art Bulletin had to find a way to get a comment out of him.
Well, I'm in Melbourne. I'm doing a tour, an Australian tour. We're playing at the Woodford Folk Festival at the end of the year, which I think is Australia's biggest music festival. And and I'm also working on some new music at the moment, working with an Australian producer.
How did you find out about the Grammy nomination?
This year they rolled it out on Twitter. So we were just anxiously waiting the Twitter, we're just watching the Twitter feeds as they came around, and we knew we had a chance because we had such a fantastic year. We were #1 on the Billboard charts in the US, and we had a 20-city tour over there. We played to a sold-out Carnegie Hall audience. So we knew we had a chance, and we were just very anxiously waiting, and so we were very excited to hear the good news. It's a dream come true.
And that's all the arts, culture and lifestyle news we have for you on this edition of the Art Bulletin, coming to you from the Capital Moloko Hotel Apartments out in Sandton. There's more where that came from, so feel free to catch us again next time and let us know what's happening in and around your art circles by tweeting at MoneyLife SABC and hashtag the Art Bulletin. Until then, it's a goodbye from us.